And you got to be able to see.
On a remote ranch in Bighorn County, Wyoming, Ernie Marsh is hard at work at his microscope.
This thumb here I use to guide the tool.
He's not a scientist, but a cowboy artist, creating and carving on a canvas of steel.
Well, I've got the mouthpiece built. Now I'm just working on the conchos.
Crafting beautifully engraved bridles and spurs of silver and inlaid gold.
These holes right here are actually going to line up with those. I'm over 150 hours into it already.
Tools of the trade that are equally at home displayed as a work of fine art or put to work by a horseback cowboy.
It's just a real good way to be able to combine your artwork with something that you can actually use.
A founding member of the Traditional Cowboy Arts Association,
It's got a hose on it. It's just like a little air hammer.
Ernie grew up horseback.
We always had horses of our own, and we did a lot of junior rodeoing.
And cowboys and cowboy gear have forever been a part of his life.
A lot of the guys that I looked up to, most of them had nice gear. You don't have to have nice gear to be a good cowboy, but it's generally the case that they do.
He's been interested in art just as long.
I mean, I wasn't any good at it, right? But I tried real hard, and I did a lot of wood carving and drawing. I actually sold some drawings. You should see my mom's collection of stuff. It's just awful, but she liked it.
Cowboying after high school on a big ranch in eastern Washington state, he also rode bulls on the rodeo circuit for a time.
Yeah, I rode at Cheyenne.
And made his first attempt at building spurs in the 1980s.
At that time, nobody would really take the time to show you much.
There was one exception, Elmer Miller's Bit and Spur School, which Ernie could not afford until he went to work cutting timber, which paid better than cowboying.
I still got my diploma on the wall. That was just 1 month of solid bit and spur making, as much as you wanted, and I wanted it real bad.
When the timber business took a dive in the early 1990s, so did Ernie.
And it was pretty thin for a while. It takes a while to get this figured out and build a business, but we got through it. Got this high-tech magic device. If you put this in your hand, anything that's in your mind, you can transfer onto the paper.
Engraving was a challenge.
I'll start out on paper.
Until he took an NRA firearms engraving class.
When I got back, I just started practicing my firearms engraving on my bits and spurs, and things just took off for me, and I've been busy ever since.
There's a lot to it.
To be good at this, you have to know a little bit about a lot of different trades. You have to be a draftsman, an artist, a welder, a fabricator, a polisher.
Plus, you need to run a business and promote your work.
You got to be good with people. If people don't like you, they just won't use your product. The cowboys are especially like that. If they don't like you, they will not use your product. So you got to make friends. You got to get out there on the road and shake a lot of hands and let them know you're doing your best.
And in 1998, he was invited to co-found the Traditional Cowboy Arts Association, a group dedicated to celebrating and preserving the cowboy arts of silversmithing, bit and spur making, saddle making, and rawhide braiding. And the new fine work of its members is celebrated every fall at the TCA's annual show and sale at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City.
We're trying to show the world what we can accomplish when we can take that utilitarian piece and turn it into a magnificent piece of artwork.
The show is a rare opportunity for anyone to see what the cowboy arts are all about.
That was actually the first time that these works were publicly viewed all in one place.
Ernie was working on his show entry the day I stopped by.
A lot of inlay work. This is actually 18 karat gold here. And with these traditional cowboy arts pieces, I'll put all the time I need to make everything just perfect. And if I have a crazy idea it's going to take 2 extra weeks, I just go for it.
Gold and silver are a little pricey.
Yeah, it's a sheet of sterling silver. Yeah, very expensive.
And it takes a lot of gear to punch out silver conchos and turn metal into fine art.
I do a lot of all my welding right here, and then a larger drill press.
Most of Ernie's equipment is vintage,
This machine dates from the early 1940s.
but the real work is done by hand.
It took me most of yesterday to do this.
Even building the chains that go with bridles and spurs.
It's called double jack chain. You can't hardly buy it. Cross chain for a bit or tie down chain for your spurs.
Along with his showpieces,
Yeah, this is a stainless steel bit.
Marsh offers a line of high-quality stainless steel bits and spurs for the working cowboy,
And this was his number 20 pattern.
a business he took over from the late acclaimed bit and spur maker, Al Tejan.
So you've kind of got to walk in both worlds if you want to stay busy.
And along with doing the work he loves, Marsh has discovered a new passion,
I actually enjoy it a lot more than I thought.
teaching.
You know, it's my responsibility to keep learning so I can share that much more with people that want to learn this.
He recently hosted a class of 16 men and women eager to learn his craft.
When that light bulb comes on and you're standing there, it's pretty exciting stuff.
Alongside his wife Teresa and their beloved dog Lily, building quality gear remains a labor of love. And Ernie has no plans of hanging up his spurs.
This is what I like to do, so it's just real cool cowboy stuff, you know? I mean, you can't get any better than that, right? I mean...